days grow chill, do they not, my friend? Hey there. Yeah, this way. Over by the bench and the trash can. Come have a seat and chat for a bit, yeah? I mean, unless you're on your way somewhere. No? Great. Have a seat. Oh, and don't mind me stuffing my pie hole while we chat. It's food time for this possum. Again. Tonight's menu? Another score from the Kaiju Burgers dumpster. Leftover lot of something they call blubber nuggets. Supposed to be from the fat layer of some gigantic beast or other. No, it wouldn't be whale blubber. Too expensive for fast food. And not much of a market for it around here. Nah, it tastes like it's just mostly lard and filler. But they did a good job with it. It certainly doesn't feel like lard and filler. It feels like blubber. Okay, perhaps it's not the greatest and best snack for everyone, but I kinda like the blubber nuggets. And besides, I could use the calories. I might be a little on the chunky side, but I still need to pack on some more pounds before the really cold weather sets in. Got to bulk up that insulating layer of fat under this fine fur coat, you know? So how have you been? I hope you haven't contracted some horrible disease, or been chased by dogs or anything. Good to hear. Me? No dogs or anything of that sort. No diseases either, at least nothing I've noticed. I mean, I had a sort of a cold a few weeks ago, but that cleared up pretty quick. Oh, and I think I may have gotten into a questionable batch of vegetables someone threw out into their backyard. It's the age-old song of the city-dwelling possum. Eat all the ground score candy and dumpster-grade cheeseburgers you like, and be happy and carefree. But eat one bad potato out of someone's compost pile, and all of a sudden you're having horrible stomach pains and finding religion. That was a rough couple of days indeed. But I'm much better now. Say, do you smell that wonderful aroma just now? It smells like autumn. A certain blend of spices, coupled with a distinct nutty scent. Nothing else quite like it. The wonderful aroma of pumpkin spice coffee. Is that smell by chance coming from that paper bag you've got with you? Is that a Galaxy Coffee takeout bag? You didn't. Oh, you shouldn't have. For me? Really? Are you telling me that you went out on your very own to the local coffee shop with the thought in your head that you might run into me someplace and got a pumpkin spice latte just for me? Friend, I am incredibly flattered by the sentiment, and grateful too. It's not often I get to have this stuff hot, you know. I can't just waltz into the place myself and order one. Coffee shops are just a little too public, you know? Besides, I might accidentally cut in line in front of a Karen. And then there'd be shouting, and she'd want to talk to the manager, and there'd be a big to-do and loads of stress, and you know how I just love me some stress in the morning. You really got this coffee just for me. Well, I hope you didn't deny yourself a similar pleasure. Oh, good. I'd feel guilty enjoying something this tasty while you just sat there with nothing. There is nothing quite like hot coffee on a cold day, and a friend to drink it with. You know, I can't say that this is my most favorite time of year. I really don't have a favorite, only I definitely don't like the middle of winter. Not a fan of getting snow on my tail if I can avoid it. But there's something to be said for the cold, crisp air, the change in the quality of light, the shorter days and longer nights. I hear a lot of people griping about that, by the way. The whole thing with setting the clocks back and forth. They are aware that the nights are longer this time of year, right? That it's not just the thing with the clocks? Oh, people confuse me sometimes. The colors are nice this time of year, too. Most of the leaves are off the trees, and all around you can see colors that are not green for a change. Sometimes, when I'm out and about, and there's no one around to see me, I like to find someplace where the wind has blown the leaves up into a huge big heap, and I just get a running start and jump right in the pile. There's a lot to be said for the simple pleasure of rolling in a giant pile of leaves. This coffee tastes amazing. Thanks again, by the way. You know, one of these days, I'm going to come across the perfect opportunity for a prank, and I absolutely will not be able to help myself. Someone is going to get the shock of their life. I can see it now. I'll be rustling around in a pile of leaves, doing happy possum things, and some character is going to come walking along, minding their own business. And then they'll hear me rolling and wallowing in the leaves, and of course they'll come over to see what's making the noise. And when they're just close enough to get a clear look at whatever might be in the pile of leaves, I'm going to slowly stick my head up out of the leaves and look them dead in the eye. And when they've had just enough of a chance to see that it's just a possum sticking up out of the leaf pile, I'll muster up all the grave soberness that I can cram into my voice, and I'll tell them, "You're an adult now, with responsibilities and bills." And then I'll just slowly sink back into the leaves. Yeah, it's a great way to occupy a portion of someone's thoughts for the rest of their life, and no one will ever believe the story. They'll be thinking about that until the end of time. It'll really mess with their head. Well, no, I don't make too much of a habit out of messing with people. You do too much of that sort of thing, and word starts getting around that something a little screwy is going on. I feel like I've touched on this subject before. Probably have, but whatever. You get where I'm going with this, though. What's that? What if someone sees us here talking? Well, I've actually given some thought to that, friend, seeing as we run into each other so often. If someone does happen by, they're probably not going to think anything of someone sitting on a bench with a 3-foot-tall possum. They'll likely just think you're sitting next to a large stuffed animal you bought from somewhere. And if they do overhear a conversation, they're just as likely to chalk it up to you talking to someone on your phone. But if they actually get a good look and see that I'm doing some of the talking, either they'll think they've gone crazy and they'll heck right off somewhere else, or they'll want to get a closer look, because of course they will. And if they get too close, I'll just pretend to be some sort of remote-controlled toy or something, and I'll keep talking. But I'll start looking in the wrong directions and moving weird, like whoever is operating me is getting distracted. And if it comes right down to it, I'll just stop moving entirely, while you explain to the representative of the Mind Your Own Business Bureau that I'm just some complicated electronic gadget. And then I can tell them to smile because they're on camera, and then stop moving again. And likely they'll go away after that. Pretty neat plan, yeah? Oh, it'll totally work. If it ever actually comes right down to it, I'm certain we can get away with it. Now, back to the subject of the changing seasons. Oh, hey, what else have you got in that Galaxy coffee bag? Seriously? Pumpkin spice cream-filled donuts. Did you just roll out of bed this morning and decide to be a hero? Because this is the sort of thing heroes do. They go out and obtain a pumpkin spice feast for a friend. That's what they do. Thank you yet again. I cannot get enough pumpkin spice this time of year. You know, I overhear people all the time heaping disdain on the whole concept of pumpkin spice. Yeah, pumpkin spice this and basic that, and complaining that it doesn't taste like pumpkin pie. Well, of course it doesn't taste like pumpkin pie. Not the same flavor, sweet. Yeah, you understand completely. Those people complaining about pumpkin spice, they probably just don't like seeing other people being happy. Show me someone who feels moved to complain about someone else taking joy in a cup of coffee in a flavor they like, and I'll show you a person whose shoes are probably on too tight, and is afraid to let love into their life. Precisely. So, you got any plans for how you're going to spend the colder months? Yeah? Well, friend, why don't you tell me about it, while I politely and delicately shove this entire donut into my mouth a piece at a time? I'm all eagerness to listen.